Voters deciding whether to remove Judge Aaron Persky from the bench. We have some new numbers that are just coming in. 39% of the precincts reporting, 59% of the voters recalling Judge Persky, 41% saying no.
And in terms of who would replace the judge, we've got new numbers. Cindy Hendrickson with 71% of the vote, and Angela Story with 29%. That's with 39% of precincts reporting.
All right, Len Ramirez keeping an eye on the decision. He's at the Palo Alto Courthouse. Steps for us tonight. Len?
Well, that's right, Alan. We do have some breaking news in this race in the recall effort for Judge Aaron Persky. I'm here with LaDoris Cordell, who has, in effect, been a campaign manager for the no on recall. What do you have to say about these results, Judge?
Well, right now, we think about 40% of the vote is in, and it shows an 18-point gap, meaning the recall is ahead by 18 or 17 points. So we believe that we'll probably not be able to close that gap with about 40% of the precincts reporting. So given that, we likely have lost our effort to stop this recall. And what I can tell you is that this recall, the reason we opposed it was because we felt this recall, and still believe it, is a threat to judicial independence. And if indeed it has succeeded and a good judge has lost his job for doing his job, I think it's a very sad day for the judiciary in California. And it also should embolden the 40%, the thousands of people who got it, who understood what this recall was really about. And it was not about anything other than taking away judicial independence. So we will continue to fight on, and I hope the thousands of people that voted against the recall will join us in an effort to undo this, because I think this does not bode well for the judiciary in California and maybe for the rest of the country.
Judge, have you spoken to Judge Persky tonight after some of these results came in, and if so, what is he saying?
Yes, I have, and he's clearly saddened by it, but he is going to move on and do whatever he needs to do to continue to take care of his family. So he's not despondent. He's just knows that he put up a good fight, and as we all did in this matter. And I really believe that if we'd had a couple more months, we may have been able to really turn the tide even more. It didn't happen, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop. We are still going to fight the good fight for an independent judiciary.
Thank you. Judge, thanks for sharing that with us. It must be a very difficult time for you as well, working so hard on this. But at this point, it does appear that the lead of the yes on the recall is insurmountable, and the no on recall is all but conceding tonight. Thank you, Judge, very much. All right, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Len and Judge LaDoris Cordell, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Let's look again at the numbers from Santa Clara County, that 18-point differential with the recall vote against Judge Persky. The yes vote with 40%, just about 40% of the precincts in at 59%. And we were sitting here saying that he didn't get out of this ahead of time. He tried to stop it, but he didn't get out and mount any type of a campaign, if you will.
That's right. He tried to appeal the decision to keep the measure on the ballot, and he engaged in a lot of legal wrangling in the months in between the time this was filed and Election Day. He spent a large portion of that trying to litigate this and trying to get a judge to order it off the ballot and not getting out there and campaigning.
Wasn't the argument that he was a state appointee, so locals couldn't do it? Or it was technical. It wasn't even something grand that said this is a constitutional question about judges, I mean, or a big issue about the judiciary. It was on some like, let's get it knocked off.
It was very technical. He tried two different ways to do it. It was very, ticky-tack, but he really stuck his ear into that and really sort of focused on that instead of getting out and really making the case to the voters.
And he didn't make himself available, did he?
He did not.
He didn't. And look, there's
to the public.
There is a school of thought that says judges shouldn't be out there politicking, but
this is 2018.
Maybe this is one of those instances where he should have been, as LaDoris said.
Well,
if he had had a little more time to campaign, they may have been able to.
His reaction seemed impersonal, and the crime that he was hearing, the case he was hearing, it was very personal to a lot of people.